Voice of the People FM. And hey, this is the Evening Rush. Undoubtedly, perhaps arguably, where Nigeria's finest conversation takes place every evening. Yeah, we get to bring you topical conversations that you have been talking about all day. And guess what? We also break it down to pieces to your understanding so that you will understand enough to do the right thing. Welcome to the show, guys. It's always a delight to be with you. You know, you guys have become my bad habit, or perhaps good. I can't tell. My name is Precious Inyi. I am your host for today. And today is Wednesday, so I got me Dr. Deji. I said, make I just go get some more PhD come back. So I got me Dr. Deji. Dr. Deji Moshola is a doctor of political science. I always try to say that. Dr. Deji, good evening, and thank you so much for joining us.
Good evening. Thanks for having me. My pleasure.
Okay. Dr. Deji, just before we came into the studio, you showed me, and it's perhaps just trending, about the death of the mayor that was kidnapped. Sad. I'd like to get your reaction to that.
Well, it just shows that when you aid and abet bad, you don't know when it should be your turn. And it shows that nobody is immune for what is going on in the society. Like, I'm trying to remember the scholar that said that they came for this. It was listing cadres of the society that nobody talked, and they were able to succeed. And the day they eventually came for him, nobody was available to speak for him. So the thing is, before, people that suffer it the most are just the have-nots, the talakawas, the mekunos. You know, those are the kind of people that suffers in the hands of these guys. Now it is advancing. An emir has been killed in Sokoto State. You know, so when these things started, those that used to aid and abet bad things, when people speak the truth, whether it's because of tribalism, because of religion, just pray that it doesn't get to you, because that emir will not have foreseen that such will get to
him.
So it's a very sad situation, but you know, the deed has been done, and I just hope that Nigerian government can please use the effort that they used to follow NSAS and bad governance protesters, peaceful protesters and all that. Please, and all those resources that they deployed during the election, 40,000 policemen, 60,000 policemen. Can you please?
How about the ones they deployed during the protests?
Yes,
remember we even had helicopters roving around.
Yes, you know, and tear gas canisters and all that. Can you please deploy this energy to protect lives and properties of the citizens? Because at the end of the day, you think you have one small money in your account, you think you have one car that have one AC that is blowing you. If you are not careful, it may just get to your doorstep. And now a whole emir, you know, the traditional symbol of authority in a society, is killed in a very shameful manner. His pictures with bloodstain have circulated all over social media. Imagine if, you know, one of the most revered traditional ruler in whatever state you come from is being paraded in the social media with bloodstain, begging government to pay I think is it 1 billion or something. You see, so the thing is, we should always stand on the side of truth and always fight for a just society, because we never can tell what will happen tomorrow. So if we have a just society, at the end of the day, you will be one of the utmost beneficiaries of it. And if you are the type that you support bad thing, whether because of tribalism, because of religion, or any other thing, don't forget that you may feel you are secure, but you will go one day. Your kids will be here in this country. So the thing is, these people that you sometimes support blindly because of tribalism, because of religion, their kids are well protected. You know, everything is fine with them. Tinubu has one of the best security in Nigeria. You know, I don't think there's anything that can kill him except God decides to kill him. So if Sheyi is well protected with all the DSS, army, police and all that, but you, that, you know, it is only God that is protecting you, and even that God, you are not loyal to him because you commit sin.
Wait, Dr. Deji.
You commit sin, you lie, you do all this small stealing, you hate your neighbor. You know, are you not finished or almost finished?
Hey, Dr. Deji, let me take a break. Lagos, welcome to the show. Let's get you on the hot topics that we have this evening. So on the hot topic this evening, very interesting. Chinese investors take over Nigeria's guest houses, not houses in Liverpool, and then they are ready to sell it on eBay for $2.2 million. They say they're money in about $70 million. And a small, they go to recover and small. And then Guardian also has it. Guardian says Chinese firm takes over Nigeria's guest houses in Liverpool. The Business Day newspaper also has that same story. It is very heartbreaking. 2027, APC kicks as PDP backs call for Jonathan's return. Why will APC kick? Will anybody vote for Jonathan? Well, this is where you have to have your say, and I'll let you in on that conversation when the time comes. How over 1,400 protesters are languishing in police custody. How over 1,400 protesters are languishing in police custody. This is another conversation that is very important to have. Then, speaking about the hunger in the land, UNICEF warns of escalating malnutrition crisis in northeast Nigeria. I can't say whether only northeast, because I hear that kwashiorkor is now a thing. People are being malnourished anyhow, but UNICEF is warning of escalating. That is to say, the thing goes spike well for inside northeast. And then, speaking about that hunger and the prices of food, new market survey, we hear that bag of iron beans is now 210,000 naira, crayfish is 200,000 naira, gari is 90,000 naira in Abia State and Imo State. I would love to know how much these bags are. Madam Quality, where you dey? I go like make you come give me the real price of these ones for this Lagos where we dey. And if you're watching us from across Nigeria, please kindly call your neighbors around wherever you are. I would really love to know the true prices of these things, these items, so that we know, and we can confirm them. Still in politics then, I don't run from fights. Wike vows to remain in PDP. That is, I dey fight to finish. Okay, and then there's this horrific story here about Enugu government, compiling list of buildings used for kidnapping and threatens to demolish them. That is buildings so that they used to do kidnap and ritual killings. Hey God, well, Lagos, these are the hot topics that we have. But as usual, we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll begin to dissect these and other conversations after the break. This is the Evening Rush 90.3, Voice of the People FM. Did I tell you my name? My name is Precious Enyi. I am your host, while the producer is just right around the corner. Her name is Promise. You'll hear from her very soon. Stay with us. We'll be right back shortly.
From the views on the streets,
we go to bed empty hunger,
to the blaring horns of a hustling city. The loudest voices of the common man got a medium to be heard.
This particular administration, they were coming unprepared.
It's not a bad thing to renovate the president's lodge.
Through top-notch programming, unbiased reportage of news, sports, business, entertainment, and cultural documentaries, Voice of the People 90.3 FM became a symbol for 21st century media. And now, a new baby is born. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV, youthful, full of vigor and pressure for excellence in the continent's media space, exposing the wrongs, applauding the rights, dissecting the news without fear or favor, through factual and accurate stories and contents.
Corruption kills three things that makes a society.
Representing the interests of the people and giving them a voice. Voice of the People TV is here to stay towards building a fair society. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television, truly a voice for the people.
The Evening Rush with Pressures. The Evening Rush with Pressures. Featuring sound and informed guests across various sectors to discuss matters arising on Hot Topic Part.
What was the rate of inflation? And then what was the exchange rate?
Intense conversations.
Doesn't mean we cannot join any party or not. Then who will join the one that will bring about
critical analysis.
What is wrong with us 200 million people? We can't even give ourselves.
We sometimes disagree.
When we say our GDP, it's not an oil-dominated.
To agree.
Hey,
like what's going on here?
You caught that game, right?
I saw that. On Hot Topic Pali, Monday to Friday, 6:15 p.m. to 9 p.m. 90.3. Voice of the People FM. Lagos. Now you have a voice. Yes, Lagos, you are welcome. It is still 90.3 Voice of the People FM. My name is Precious and welcome to the show once again. So let's get started with that conversation. And they say charity begins at home, but this is a home matter that is being talked about abroad. So let's start it like that. So we hear that same Chinese company that had the mind, the impetus, the audacity to seize our 3 aeroplane and residential structures, it's confiscated from the country for sale on global online marketplace. Guess the marketplace? eBay. Just like make you just go online marketplace, go to see your country property there. Okay, now it was so people familiar to this story has said so. Zhongshan Fucheng Industrial Investment Limited took possession of 2 buildings linked to the Nigerian government in Liverpool, United Kingdom. In June 2024, years after Nigeria failed to settle an arbitration judgment handed down in 2021. Now, the properties are 15 Iboth Hall Road, Liverpool, and Beach Lodge 49 Calderstones Road, Liverpool. They were targeted after a December 2021 British court orders gave Zhongshan executives the order to seize Nigeria's assets in the UK to retrieve the $70 million payment which remained outstanding as of August 2024 with 2% monthly interest accruals. That is, understand, the money they rise with 2% every month. Every month it's in the rise. Imagine from 2021 till date how much percent don't rise. Now, not be say they rise every year, every month, and in dollars, millions of dollars. See, and when you go no say 0.5% matter a lot, now when the money reach millions, now you gonna say small percentage na a lot of things. Now Zhongshan was awarded a 675,000 plus interest of $9,400,000 and cost of $2,864,455 pounds as of the date of the arbitration. Now, and that was on March 26, 2021. Now, this is according to the court document. But the case stemmed from a dispute between Zhongshan and Ogun State. We have talked about this and we can't stop talking about it. But what is interesting about this property is that it is actually not noted. These houses were not actually noticed to be Nigerian houses. So how did they know? So they said that even though the properties belong to Nigeria, they were seized because they weren't listed as Nigerian diplomatic or consular assets. Not listed as Nigerian diplomatic or consular assets. Now, it was learned that those currently occupying the properties had no ties. They don't get relationship with Nigerian mission for inside the UK. In fact, they don't clear when Nigeria even buy the assets because we don't even know. But a senior judge said its officials had regularly rented out both places to guests. That is, the Nigerian house for UK said they rent them out on a steady. Not be regularly. They rent them out on a steady. Well, let me just break here because Dr. Deji is here. And the good thing is that Dr. Deji has his PhD from outside the country and his master's from outside the country. So I'm sure, as a political scientist, he understands how this works. So, Dr. Deji, thank you once more for joining me. This embarrassment to the country.
Well, thanks for having me once again. Let me start by saying, why do countries have some of these assets abroad? Because the thing is, when you hear that they seize Nigerian house abroad, for the sake of some of our listeners that are not politically inclined, imagine a tailor listening to me. He won't understand that why would Nigeria have, such assets abroad. Now, in the UK, you know that Nigeria was colonized.
Yes.
UK colonized Nigeria,
yes.
Right? So we will naturally have some of these back-to-back interactions with UK and anything that has to do with British. Just as Senegal, we have more interaction with France than Nigeria. So sometimes when Nigeria wants to do some things and there are delegations from Nigeria, even at the state level, people from Lagos State, Sokoto State, Zamfara State, Enugu State may want to do something in the UK. And when those people are going to UK, they have to stay in hotels. They have to kind of like rent hotels for them. Sometimes it leads to an embarrassing moment whereby you literally have to be begging these hoteliers, especially if it is during peak period. You have to be begging them for them to kind of like create room for you. So in order to avoid such embarrassment, Nigerian diplomat would think that why don't Nigeria buy a house in the UK so that that kind of house will be useful when people from Nigeria come on to the UK for official purposes. So that is why you will see that countries where they have good interaction with another country, they have assets in that country. They have luxury cars, they have houses. Those assets serves purpose of providing convenience for the citizen of the country when they come to that foreign land.
So irrespective of the state you come from.
Exactly. So far you are in Nigeria and you are coming for government purpose, government function, whether it is even if you are representing a local government. For example, now if they just discover a new resources in Ikeja local government, for example, and you are going to the UK to have a discussion about it, you can still use Nigeria asset in the UK. You understand? So the thing is, at the end of the day, these assets are now being used by Nigeria so that you don't create an embarrassment. Maybe you have an important meeting in December and tourists have rented all the hotels. Imagine a Nigerian embassy going to beg an hotel in the UK that please provide space for us and all that.
So now wait till make they get all this properties.
Yes, no. So
this whole thing we can happen.
So the thing is,
how did this Chinese company even sniff out this since it wasn't registered like as you know
that non-registration is where
how did they know?
You see that non-registration is how will a country have an asset and it won't be registered? First, the lines that you read that they have been renting it out to people.
Absolutely. That's what the report says.
You see, that is a taboo. Let us.
So now criminal offense.
See, if Nigeria has a house in the UK for security purpose, because the kind of people that will be coming to that house to stay, these are government officials, these are the diplomats, these are people of high security risk. And if you look at how international executions are being made, and I'll make this an assignment for some of our listeners. Go and read about international executions. If people from foreign land, they want to carry out execution in another foreign country, if you are using one of your diplomatic assets as this all these Airbnb or something like that, the implication of that is, do you know the people who are renting those apartments? Do you know the kind of people who are living in it? What if they implant something or they put something or something like that? What will now happen to your occupant so that is a high security? So even if those assets are not listed for public knowledge, because there are some assets that you have that it will be like a secret asset. For instance, the house that the president will stay, the house that the vice president will stay, is not something that you may decide to make public. It was during Buhari regime that they cast down Nigeria house in UK when it was on perpetual medical tour.
Yes, that time.
Ordinarily.
Yes. For no.
Ordinarily. That house, yes, you do not ordinarily, that kind of house shouldn't be something of public knowledge.
Oh, okay.
And so there are something, but those assets are known by Nigerian Ministry of Foreign Affairs. They are known by this, I think, NNIA or something like that. This foreign agency, NNIA or something. They are known by them. So if these assets are not known by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs or this NIA or something like that, if they are not known, that brings me to probe further as a social scientist that what could have happened? Is it that these assets were bought for Nigerians with Nigerian name, but were now diverted later? What do I mean by that? Sometimes when they buy this asset and the government is leaving power, especially if it is the same party that is coming in. For instance, now, if Obasanjo is going and Yaradua is coming in, it is the same PDP. You have a situation whereby some loyal boys in the past government, Buhari is going, Tinubu is coming in. It is the same APC. You have some of these guys in government that are kind of like very strong and loyal. They will just divert some of those assets into their own. So they will now convert it. An asset that was bought with country fund, with Nigerian fund, you see that they will now divert it and just be using it for business. Or is it that it is still listed as Nigerian property, but Nigerian consulate in UK, decide to be profiting from a national security asset. So this
by renting it out.
Yes, you see,
which either way it's a crime. That's what you're saying. Is that what you're saying, sir?
When they are, it's a terrible thing. When they are using all this word loosely, treasonable felony, all this kind of thing. I believe such a thing should fall under such kind of thing, because you are putting the people that are representing your country, that are staying in that house, at risk. When you turn Nigerian property into where anybody, a kind of like foreign asset like that. So that property now that is not listed has been identified, because there are companies that do those kind of things, that does all these undercover, whereby, because for instance now, it is not very easy for anybody to identify Nigerians. Even I as a Nigerian, you as a Nigerian, you can't identify those assets. So you now imagine how a foreign company, Zhongshan, was able to identify those assets. There are some companies that is their job.
So do you think that these companies are on a vendetta? Apologies for cutting you because we don't have time. Do you think this company is on a vendetta?
It is not
they said they were treated.
No, it is not a vendetta. Justice is different from vendetta. Let's be clear. If you are seeking justice in the international scene, agreement is agreement. So when you have irresponsible people in government that the EndSARS spirit will enter you, the end bad governance protest spirit will enter you, that the way you handle Nigerians, the way you treat them with impunity, the way you disobey court order, that spirit will enter you. You now take it abroad. These are some of the lessons the country has to learn, because when a judgment is given against your country, you know why they use some of these countries as place of arbitration? Because, for instance, Zhongshan is a Chinese company. He wants to do business with Ogun State. The thing, they will now sit down and deliberate that, now, what if there is an issue? What if there is a problem? What if there is a dispute?
So they look at the pros and cons.
Yes, where will be the country of arbitration? In international relations and development, we call the country of arbitration.
So that's why they have all those other countries where these cases took place.
Yes, because some people will be wondering. Exactly. Some people will be wondering that, okay, Nigeria, Ogun State, they do business with Chinese country. Wetin concern France?
Wetin concern UK and US?
The thing is, when they are drafting the
contract, so they added it.
They know that in Nigeria you don't have a strong judicial system. They know that in Nigeria your institution is weak. The police system doesn't follow the dictates of the law. It is what the oga says, or what one man in the presidency or in the governor's office says, that they will follow. So they know that when you have a weak system, they can't get justice. But that shouldn't stop them from investing. For them to protect themselves, for them to secure themselves, they will now say, okay, if dispute happens and we are unable to resolve it, where should we use as place of arbitration? They will now look towards the countries that have strong judicial system, where their judges are not corrupt, where their police will not take bribe. They will now say, okay, let's go, and you find these countries in the world, UK, US, Germany.
So that's why those countries are the countries where these cases took place now.
Most times, when some of these companies are dealing with developing nations in Africa, they use all this US, UK system as the country
Dr.
of arbitration.
As we round up, there's no time. Apologies. What is the implication of this as we speak
The
again?
implication
because it's the second time we're having this embarrassment.
Yeah, the
one was a
implication
presidential
is
jet.
brace up.
This one again.
Brace up. Because poverty will increase astronomically.
How?
The truth is,
how will they concern me?
It will concern you.
I dey innocent. I no borrow money.
The thing is, you know that I'm born in Lagos, but I'm originally from Ogun State. So and that's why I begged you off air that, Precious, let me come and be a Rivers citizen. Forget about Wike and Fubara.
Dr. Deji, I also wanted to add, what's the implication for Ogun State as it stands?
The implication,
the federal government is getting this brunt right now. Would there be implication for the state government?
Yes,
that had this contract.
The implication for Ogun State is that at the end of the day, if Nigerian government did not win this case and Ogun State government did not win this case, that money will be paid. Right. They will sell Nigerian assets, and I can tell you for free that Nigeria has a lot of assets.
So they must make sure they complete their $70 million.
A country that has gained independence since 1960 has a lot of assets.
Both known
and unknown. So they will be selling this asset. Like now, one is on eBay now. You know, so I've been begging Precious to go and buy it.
Let's move to another conversation very quickly.
Give me one room there.
Time is on our side.
Some people are saying we hope we don't wake up and see Nigeria on eBay. So like, you're selling the whole country on an e-commerce company.
On very quickly, please.
Okay, talking about PDP and politics right now. The opposition People's Democratic Party has thrown its weight behind the call for former President Goodluck Jonathan to join the presidential race for 2027. In the past week, there has been a growing rumor that northern elites and politicians are not happy with current President Bola Tinubu's administration and subtly yearning for a change of government in the next election. 4 days ago, Bauchi State Governor Senator Bala Mohammed also lent his voice to the agitation, vowing to jettison his presidential ambition if Jonathan agrees to contest. Mohammed gave these blessings at an event organized by a non-governmental organization, Save Africa Initiative.
Atiku. I think if you have been pursuing something since 1993 during the days of MKO, and Nigeria have moved from bad to worse since then, and you are still contesting, it begs the question that what is there in this presidency that you still want to be contesting?
What was there for Buhari when he contested the number of times he did till he got it?
I'm going somewhere.
That's what some people will say.
The thing is, if the record of the Buhari that you mentioned is anything to go by, after gaining the presidency, what did he do with it? What did you do? So if I'm to use the record of Buhari, I cannot vote for Atiku, because it has shown that when you become a veteran contestant, you run out of ideas. And another thing is that if you are contesting since 1993 and you have opportunity to be the number 2 citizen of this country for 8 years, my brother, what are you looking for again? God make you number 2, you dey try to be number 1. God go first now say, if I make you number 1, you go say you won't be me, you won't be God. No, I think that's what's happening to Atiku. So for me, I believe that if Atiku has spent this amount of years in politics, until date, he cannot say this is the person that I can anoint, whether in the south, whether in the north, whether in the east, whether in the west, that, oh, I want to back you wholeheartedly to become the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Despite the years that Atiku has spent in politics, it speaks to the fact that Atiku himself has failed. He's a failed politician. Because when you are a boss at something, and you have not trained people that you can easily beat your chest as Oga mechanic.
Like this person go fit defend, go fit do the work.
You've been on this work since like forever as a mechanic. And after spent so much years, you can't beat your chest and say, this my boy, we handle it. Then you are a failed Oga. So the thing is, by now, Atiku should be thinking that, okay, I don't want to contest anymore. Who can I use? So if he doesn't have, whether in the north, whether in the south, whether in the east, it shows that Atiku has failed. Now to Jonathan.
Okay.
You see, sincerely, give it to some of these guys. One of the best person that can contest against Tinubu, which it will not be easy. Because don't forget that Tinubu is a power-oriented politician. He knows what to do with power. He knows how to use power. He was only given a chance in Lagos State. Till now, he's still holding on to Lagos State. There's nobody that has beat that record. Even Obasanjo is not as strong as a godfather like Tinubu. So this is a power-oriented man. He knows what to do with power. And I've said it, that power is not served a la carte. If he says that, that means he don't expect him to give you that power to a la carte. You know, because he has said it.
So that means you're ruling a
power
democracy.
Is grabbed, and when you grab it,
Snatch and grab
you know,
it.
you run away with it.
So, but hold on. How does that fit in into the fact that he was a true Democrat who also fought for the present democracy that we are practicing?
No, the
So
thing
how
is-
does
the
snatching
thing
and
is-
running away with it, if that is
No, the
anything to
thing
go
is
by,
that, you see,
comply with
let me
democracy?
explain that.
Yes, please.
When your interest is not met, and your interest is met, doesn't mean that, you know, your true ideology will come to play when your interest is eventually met. And I'll give Nigerians an example. Before the president was able to gain power at the federal level, is this strong advocate of state police. State police. Now he has been president for over 1 year. The issue of state police came up and it has died a natural death. So was he truly a federalist person by clamoring for state police, or he was making that agitation because he needs that backing of the force to be able to implement some of his desires? Imagine if Lagos have a state police at that present point in time, he would have used it to kind of like influence one or two things. So is he clamoring for that state police because he is the member of the opposition. So when you say Tinubu fought for democracy, wait till you give him that democratic power.
So I wanted to quickly,
he's truly a Democrat.
I wanted to quickly add that, would you say same of the local government autonomy? The fact that, did he really give the autonomy to local government when he was governor, vis-a-vis now that he's doing everything possible to implement the local government autonomy, which, by the way, is not constitutional.
One of the first questions that
apart from the Supreme Court judgment.
One of the first questions that came to my mind is one of the people that violated the law establishing local government in Nigeria is the president himself when he created LCDAs during the Obasanjo time. Now that they've said that allocation should be paid directly to the local government, what will happen to those LCDAs that he created? How will they be funded? Will they be receiving alerts to know? Lagos originally has, I think, 20 local government. So when those 20 receive money into their account, will those money now be remitted back to Sanwo-Olu for the sharing? Thereby, the state that he is a godfather in will be the first state that will bridge. No, you see, everybody knows it's a matter of public knowledge. Will be the first state that will bridge the Supreme Court judgment. Because if Shomolu local government, which has always been a local government, if it collects the something, and if for example Bariga LCDA, if it was carved out from Shomolu, I stand to be corrected. If that is the case, what will happen to Bariga LCDA? How will it be funded? And another thing about that local government is, you see, time will tell whether he is truly a federalist, because there are also some power as the state are denying the local government of some of the funds. There are also some power at the federal level that should ordinarily be with the state. So now that he wants to practice true federalism, he should release the power that is at the federal level to and release it to the state. Okay. Then we will know that he is a true federalist.
So going back to Jonathan, okay.
But the truth is, if his political antecedent, political trajectory is anything to go by, I don't think the president will be willing to release any of his powers. You know, because the president is not Odumeje. You know, he's not willing to release his. For example, now the control of the federal police as the force in the country is the president's Abido Sheka. You want Tinubu to release his Abido Sheka, right. so that the likes of Fubara wait now. So that the likes of this governor that you just mentioned in the north, this governor in PDP, the Bauchi governor, you know,
Bala Mohammed.
Bala Mohammed will now be doing as if say he has one power like that. No, when Tinubu study his antecedent, and I'm speaking on public radio, you see, it is part of political science that I might not have met Tinubu, but I should be able to speak some things authoritatively about him as a political scientist because he is a public. So when you look at his political trajectory, the president is a power-oriented politician. You don't expect a power-oriented politician to release some of his power. In fact, he will be looking for how to gain more power.
Okay, so speaking about Jonathan now, why do you think the APC is fidgeting? I'm coming okay, because a lot of people had said that, well, life is, in fact, people have been clamoring for the APC, as it were, to take Nigeria back to where they took it from Jonathan's era. So do you see that as a real, true threat? Remember that this same APC made us feel like, well, Jonathan is a woman who doesn't take decisions by himself and he's a coward, and you know, so many names that he was called. So why would you think the APC will be fidgeting about this if the statement on this story is anything to go by?
Well, the truth is the APC has a lot to fidget about because there's nothing they can use to campaign against Jonathan. In all sincerity, if Nigeria,
so time don't reveal it.
If Nigeria is a sane country, it's going to be a flawless victory. Let's be sincere with ourselves, because oh my God, when Jonathan left there, dollar was 100 and something naira,
68 naira.
You know, and now dollar is 1,600. How do you want to campaign against such a man? But the truth is, if Jonathan wins, Jonathan himself will fail. That's the truth.
Why?
Because the rot is monumental. The rot in the system is unimaginable. The rot is beyond Jonathan.
It's not the same rot that they accuse Jonathan of.
In fact, with profound respect to my Lord Jesus Christ, if you bring Jesus Christ into this country now, when Jesus came on earth, you know, the earth is not as corrupt as this. If Jesus Christ was born now, born into this country now.
So, Dr. Deji, I wanted
you don't
to
go feed do anything. You know our Lord
I
Jesus
wanted
Christ.
to ask still about Jonathan. Why the sudden likeness in the north for Jonathan? We remember that when President Muhammad Buhari won in 2015, there was wide jubilation in the north. What happened? What is it that they think Jonathan will be able to do now that he didn't do before?
Their eye don't clear.
Now who no go no before? Okay.
They are high. You don't. And if I can give you just a minute permutation.
Okay.
You see, Goodluck Jonathan, if he decide to contest, will be a monumental nemesis for Bola Ahmed Tinubu, because one, Bola Ahmed Tinubu has shielded his party and the strong boys of the Buhari presidency just for the sake of political correctness. Instead of him to cry out and say, this is what I mean. Imagine if Bola Ahmed Tinubu got power from a PDP government. Those guys would have been finished by now. The way they will be clamoring. So with all the rot that happened during the Buhari presidency, Bola Ahmed Tinubu has kept quiet for the sake of political correctness. And now, if you look at the north, now, if Jonathan can have just, some northern support, which he will, because these northerners that orchestrated the removal of Jonathan, they enjoyed more under Jonathan than even Tinubu in terms of appointment. Jonathan was literally worshipping the north because they were telling him that he was using their tenure. So he was giving them key appointment, strategic appointment. He was lasting well with the north, yet they voted against him. If Jonathan can gain that northern support, let me come to the south for the sake of time quickly. In the southwest, Tinubu is no longer the beautiful bride. I can tell you that for free, because anytime I go out, I don't know any other thing. I'm a political scientist. I'm trained for that all my life. If I'm to read now, that's what I read. I'm not an engineer. If you give me clothes to sew, I will fail. That's the truth. So sometimes I sample opinions from people that, are not even educated at all. From transporters, for instance, day before yesterday, I was sampling opinion from transporters at a filling station, whereby I didn't eventually, get fuel to buy. And some of them, who are what we can call the illiterate Yorubas, their opinion about the president now is not what it was when he was about to contest, because now he don't clear for their eye, he don't dawn on them. So that ethnic, that loyalty that the president had before the election is no longer there at this point in time. And the southeast, as it is, if Goodluck Jonathan contests, the southeast will rather align with Jonathan than with Tinubu. That is a fact. That is a fact, because they feel more secured under Jonathan than under Tinubu. Now, the south, Tinubu no fit get job, because that is where Jonathan is from. And if Jonathan can have that northern support, what will the Tinubu government use to campaign against Jonathan? You want to come and tell us again that this man is bad? You want to come and tell us again that this man is incompetent? Jonathan will win flawlessly at this point in time. And the truth is, Jonathan now is the beautiful bride because he can only spend one term. So Jonathan is a strategic candidate. And if I'm opportune to meet,
after one time, he goes back to the north.
Yes, if I'm opportune to meet Jonathan one-on-one with the performance of Tinubu that I've seen, I will tell Jonathan for free consultation. I won't charge him any money. Jonathan, if you are hearing me now, don't worry. Free consultation, no charges. If you ever imagine of becoming Nigerian president again, if you so much desire it, 2027 is your time.
All right, so let's go quick to other issues. Talking about 2027, with all of this squabble and brouhaha and fracas in the PDP, do you see the PDP being united enough to make that happen? Considering what Nyesom Wike said today about his fight to the PDP with the National Working Committee, whom a faction of the PDP is claiming that is, friendly with Wiki, and then he's saying that they're not particularly friends and all of that. So it looks like there is a deliberate attempt to keep PDP in chaos so that it doesn't move forward. So do you see PDP even coming together enough? Remember, there are a lot of people say that that's the reason why Atiku did not win the election. Do you see them coming together enough to move beyond their issues and win the election?
I don't always like to talk about Wiki, but because it is your responsibility to ask questions, and it is my obligation to answer your question,
you don't finish me.
I will accord you that respect to answer.
Thank you for the subtle jab.
Ordinarily, you see, Wiki, one of the things giving Wiki relevance now, and don't take my word for it, look at godfather godson political fight in Nigeria, Fubara would have trashed Wike with ease if not that Tinubu appointed Wike as a federal minister. It's because Wike is the minister of the FCT and is aligned with these Tinubu boys and is in charge of the Federal Capital Territory, where most elite have one property or business interest or the other.
And so they're being careful of going against Wike, so that their properties cannot be.
Wike no send you now. Wike instantly he will revoke your property.
You too much. You don't put our sense where you know been there before.
Naturally, even if you don't like Wike, you want to act cautiously. But if Wike, if his profile just still reads as former governor of Rivers State, like other political godsons, Fubara would have trashed Wike. In fact, some of these guys that are following Wike, when they know that he's just a former governor and he has nothing to offer them, they would have aligned with Fubara. That is the truth. But one thing that I can say about Wike is either PDP is being strategic enough to strike at the right time, or PDP just doesn't know what it's doing. But I believe that Wilson Wike himself should be very, very careful, because you can't always have your way. Let us look at it personally. Wilson Wike happens to be a man that likes to operate with independent mindset. You cannot control him.
Okay, I didn't want you to draw so much time with Wike because I have
when he is the governor of Rivers State, he ruled as the governor of Rivers State. He was in charge. Now that you've left as the governor, let this Fubara guy, let him be a master unto himself. Even if there's anything between you guys, don't make him a subject of ridicule whereby people will come and be meeting you and will be ridiculing the man. No. Let them accord some respect. Tell those your political boys that if you disrespect him, if he fire you, it's none of my business. So they will accord the desired respect to Fubara. But I believe that one of the major problems now in PDP is this Wike. And the truth is, those that Wike are using, Wike has been the utmost beneficiary of the struggle. Autumn lost out.
Yes.
Cheyima Kinde now.
Oh, but Autumn is also struggling in his state because there's yes.
Autumn lost out. Cheyima Kinde now has shifted allegiance based on what's on the street that he wants to contest for presidency in 2027. So in 2023, he was with Tinubu with Wike. Now he is backing out. So the thing is, you see that now Wike is literally almost standing on its own. Okay. And I believe if PDP wants to show him the way out, definitely they will. But what I can say is, Fubara, if you are the true son of your father, fight on. I won't die and pursue they die.
All right. Okay. So promise.
No matter what happens,
so all
it
die
will be the record that you are a former governor of Rivers State.
More like if your papa born you, continue to fight.
Of course.
All right. So let's just go quickly to that conversation and then move
about that government's protest. Now, the report says that there are over 1,400 protesters, Nigerian youths, who participated in the 10-day end bad governance protest, languishing in police custody across the country. Many of the protesters in Abuja are being held in the intelligence response team, IRT, Bombay in Kano, and Kaduna police commands and other parts of the country.
Dr. DG, this is worrisome.
You see,
we also remember that they are saying there is going to be a massive protest in October. Do you think people will even turn out, considering the fact that a lot of people are still in jail?
First, I blame the organizers of that protest, because there should be a pre-planning, there should be a post-planning, whereby you have stakeholders in each state that will be monitoring these things, and there are standby lawyers that are willing to act pro bono, because you have been in Nigeria all your life. You know that some people will suffer injustice, so there should be a standby legal system for them across the state in such a way that
there is.
If there is, why is 1,400 still languishing in jail? Except if government wants to say that those in detention are looters.
Well, that's the accusation on them. Some of them with the Russian flag thing. So there's a terrorism charge on them.
They are the people that are flying flag. And see, on this flying flag of a thing, let us be realistic with ourselves, precious and promise. You see,
treasonable charge, I beg your pardon. Sometimes, yes, please.
Sometimes, if you have power than me, for instance, now, if I'm walking by and let's say Sanwo-Olu is seated, and I match him with my tekowi, my big shoe, bam, and his leg is bleeding. If he orders his security agencies to slap me to beat him, to beat me, he has done the expected. It won't have any value. But if his leg is bleeding and he say, oh, leave him, leave Deji, please, just leave him, people will be saying, wow, you made the leg of the governor bleed and he said they should leave you. Someone who will be like, a beautiful bride in the eyes of the people. What am I trying to say? If you catch protesters that are carrying Russian flag, and by the way you look at them, from their level of education, if you catch somebody like Deji with a Russian flag, now it's a different thing. You'll be like, oh, Deji, you have a PhD. For you to fly so Russian flag, we need to investigate you. But if you pick Almajiri boys that doesn't even know the kind of flag they are holding, ask them which kind of country be this, they don't know. They just distributed it to them. So why punish these guys? Why make them languish in anguish when you can at least mercy them and go after the real perpetrators, the people that sponsor the sewing of the flag? So I believe that Nigerian government sometimes, just like the illustration I just gave, should not always come down hard unnecessarily. No, there are some times that you just let go. When you let go, you win the hearts of the people. For instance, this fuel subsidy, you say fuel subsidy is a fraud. Fraud is perpetrated by human beings. You left perpetrators of the fraud. You now place the burden on Nigerians. And you ask yourself, what kind of government will operate like that? Why not go after the perpetrators of that subsidy fraud? Are they ghosts? Are they not human beings? So you leave them. And if you ask me as a citizen, I can tell you for free, I'm on public radio. Nigeria has not done anything for me since I've been born. I can tell you that for free. COVID vaccine, I got it in a foreign land. Maybe if Nigerian government have given me, I'll say Nigerian government has done something for me. So if I can buy petrol cheap, I will know that, oh, this time I'm supposed to be buying it at higher price. At least Nigerian government is doing something for me. But I'm not buying it at exorbitant price just because some people are using it to perpetuate fraud. And now those that perpetrated the fraud, you haven't recovered that money from them. And you've passed the burden to me. And cost of goods and services are now expensive. I believe government, if government wants to truly operate in its true might, should operate with justice and fairness, not against vulnerable, innocent people, whereby you see people that are really causing havoc on the state, they are living life. Some of these people now that perpetrated first subsidy fraud, they are using that money to carry all these 16, 18-year-old girls to holiday in Dubai, in Bahamas, in Miami Beach. The sweat of Nigeria.
Why can't they not be named? Why are the cabals not named?
The thing is, you see, good question, promise. The reason why some of them are not named is because some of them belong to this political class. I read somewhere that one of the governors serving now had this oil company that was allegedly importing fuel then. So it's more like a cabal kind of thing. If you are not benefiting, your close friend or your fellow governor or one of your political boy had benefited. So you will just not want to name the names just so that you don't hurt them. So it is a kind of
favoritism.
Yes, it is a class kind of thing. And that is why the kind of democracy we have, I've said that democracy was brought because it will bring freedom and development. Unfortunately, the freedom is limited, the development is nowhere to be found. In that kind of situation, when people are still voting leaders into power, what do you have? You have democratic plutocracy, which is a government of the rich. You have democratic oligarchy, which is a government by the few privileged. What do you have? You have democratic kleptocracy, which is a government.
Break it down.
Which is a government by. Which is
kleptocracy.
I don't know. Complete the kleptocracy. Hey, Dr. Deji, come back here, please.
Another word for kleptocracy is tifocracy.
Which is break it down for us.
Which is whereby
democratic tiffin.
Democratic tiffin.
You're breaking it down for him.
Sorry.
I
take it back. Use your terms.
Which is democratic tiffin.
Hell.
Whereby you use the institution of the state, you gain power by deceitful means, and when you now get there, you now turn the state into your own personal property. For this that we have just one. In Nigeria, we have carried the theory: democratic kleptocracy, democratic plutocracy, democratic oligarchy.
Hey. Ngwa, Lagos, phone lines are open. 0700 903 903 903. That is come and kleptocratic. Sorry, klepto. How do I join the three words together? Kleptocratic.
Precious, now you bring me come.
Phone lines are open. Dr. Deji, you know go bust my mic. 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call. 0700 903 903 903. The WhatsApp number to call is 0817 175 6338. 0817-175-6338. I had other stories that I did not pay attention to, but let me quickly mention it so you can also chime in on those. UNICEF says that UNICEF warns of escalating malnutrition crisis in Northeast Nigeria. Not only Northeast, to be like this malnutrition will reach everywhere because nobody they chop balanced diet again these days. And by the way, there's also an announcement of new market survey as bag of rice, beans, and other things have come down. So I really would love to hear from you. If you've been to the markets recently in Nigeria, across the country, the states in Nigeria, please tell me how much you have bought rice, beans, crayfish, other stuffs. It's very important for us to know. And then there's also a story about Enugu government compiling list of buildings used in kidnapping. And you threaten them for demolition. You could just threaten. You know, go just go take action. They use that for demolish. Now threaten. Well, these are the hot topics that we have. Yes.
The building of the opposition.
We have someone on the line. Please turn off the volume of your radio sets. Good evening. And other things have come down.
Yeah, Precious. Good evening.
Sir. Is it because Promise is here today?
Good evening, sir. You're welcome, sir. Mr.
Tony Chukwudi.
Somebody was trying to yab you yesterday. I just sent a message, but not yesterday. Which day was that? And Mr. Darlington was saying, Tony is somewhere listening. The person to be careful.
And the person responded that nobody should. Okay, I think the person responded, and someone else responded on WhatsApp, on YouTube, and says that you should not even come near. That he's concluded marriage with Promise.
Mr. Tony, don't mind her. Please go ahead.
Okay.
Let's hear your opinion.
Dr. Deji, it has been a while. Good evening.
Yeah, I've been on ghost mode. When our Precious bring me come.
You've been a while.
Me looking at you, don't look like Nigeria at all. Just looking at you, you look good.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So, see, Dr. Deji, you see, sometimes some of us decided only to be listening, not to call again or not to contribute, because the whole thing is getting every day. Sometimes you just come to listen and then you start having headache. Nigeria is giving headache to some of us that want Nigeria to be good. And you see okay, look at what you are talking. You just mentioned about the properties Nigeria owns here and there. I mean, if it's on eBay, somebody will buy it, and maybe they will just divide it and rent it out, share accommodation. It doesn't mean anything. Mm-hmm. Okay. So, but the point is that how come the presidency bought an airplane, renovated or refurbished, and then in the same place they were telling us that we don't have an airplane, there were two already that was in France.
How did they fly to France? They said those ones were not good. How did they even move them to France? They told them, they push them. They push them reach France.
Yeah, they can tow if they want to tow it. You can tow a plane, but you need a bigger one to tow the other one.
Okay,
but the point there is that I don't know how these people are confusing Nigeria. Sometimes, to be honest, I just don't know. There are questions you are talking about, even Jonathan. If Jonathan comes out, I will tell every single person that I know never vote for him.
Why?
Because he is coming there is a trap.
A trap to do what, really?
He can't do anything. You see this image he's just enjoying everywhere in the West Africa, in the world. Let him quietly maintain it. He can't change anything. And again, moreover, he has been a president before. So the Northerners know what they are doing. They know what they are doing. If Jonathan is there, what do you think that Jonathan will do? What do you think that the magic that he will do? When the whole system is already, destroyed, if I will use that word. You know, Mr. Darlington has said it before. Let him just enjoy that dignity.
All right, thank you.
And respect. So that's the only thing I would say.
Thank you.
But I would like Mr. Deji to say something about I don't know if because I just came in and joined, about this presidential jet of a thing. That thing is just annoying.
He finished. You know what? Go back and watch the beginning of the video because he spent almost 30 minutes breaking down that conversation. The jets and the seizure. I mean, the entire Chinese company and Chinese transaction. So please go to the beginning and watch.
They will very soon now. They will come and seize my promise. That's just.
Mr. Tony, thank you so much for joining us. Lagos phone lines are still open 0700 903 903 903. WhatsApp line is 0817 175 6338. Hello, good evening. Ouch. Hello. Good evening.
Hello.
Yes, please. Good evening. Good evening. Are you there? Hello. All right. Hello. Good evening.
Hello.
Yes. Good evening and welcome.
Hello.
Yes,
Hello?
please. Yes, so I can hear you. All right. Unfortunately.
Yeah, this is Kule on the line.
Kule, where are you calling from?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Please be quick because someone is on hold. Go ahead.
I want to talk about the Jonathan issue.
Go ahead, please.
What I feel is let's forget about.
Unfortunately, network won't let us hear you, so I'll have to let you go. Thank you so much. Hello, good evening to you. Hello? Hello, good evening. Oh dear. Oh my goodness. I'm not ready for this network issue today. Hello, good evening to you. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. Welcome. What's your name, sir?
My name is Pastor Steven.
Pastor Stephen, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from.
You're calling from
where?
From Lagos.
Ha.
Kenya.
This one you not thought about it very well. Oh yeah, go ahead, please. Go straight on.
Kenya.
It's
What
okay.
I want to
Okay.
contribute in it is that Jonathan has the ability to rule this country in a perfect way, more than any other Nigerian, because he has tested it. He knows everything about it. If I'm saying, let's give the chance to him and balance the situation of this country.
All right. Thank
Are
you.
you hearing?
Yes, I can hear you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right. Thank you. Bye. Hello. Good evening to you.
Hello.
Yes, please. Welcome.
Good evening.
Welcome.
Is Christopher speaking?
Christopher, you're
From
welcome.
Lagos.
Go ahead, please.
So, based on Jonathan, it's a big trap for Jonathan. My own suggestion. It's a very big trap from the north, for the northerners. Then Nigeria should know that APC, they are not ready to give us any good thing. The government of APC is not ready to.
No. You just go straight and say your word. Oga, you cannot use our platform to castigate or speak down on any group of people.
Precious, I'm telling reality.
It is your thought. I know it is your thoughts. I know it's your opinion. You can just even speak without mentioning names. I beg you. You're not supposed to do that, except you want me to cut you off. Please.
Okay, I'm sorry for that.
Thank you.
If you want to defend APC government, since 9 years now, tell me any good thing APC have achieved for Nigeria since 9 years. Can you name one single good thing?
Unfortunately, I'm the one who asks the questions. You shouldn't ask me, and I can't respond to your question. Hello?
That is what I'm... Okay, I've said my own opinion.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We have heard your opinion. Thank you. Hello, good evening to you. Hello? Good evening. Are you there?
Good evening.
Yes, good evening. Welcome. What's your name, sir? What is your name, sir?
Yeah, my name is Ili and I'm from Uyo.
From Uyo. Can you speak up, please? Because it's very difficult to hear you. You're from Uyo. You're calling from Uyo, Akwa Ibom State. Oh, wow. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Are you listening to us from Uyo now, or you're from Uyo but you live in Lagos State?
Okay. Say the the administration as it has been over the years, I would say that this government has always been against the people. Yes, it has always been against the people. And if you check very well, any administration or any state that tries to do anything for the people, the authorities behind these administrations tends to act against. Use the case of Abia State, where we have the governor trying to do the best for the people, and the one man that called himself the sixth person in the country is saying that he wants to bring in his to rule the state in the next election, which is not supposed to be so. And if you ask him what is the problem, he will say, "Oh, the person is my friend, the governor is my friend, and I talk to him every day. Monkey will not chop, a monkey will not walk, and babu chop. Why would you bring such cases?" Then you come again to the case where we had these protests earlier. The government, they brought the whole rights issue. But right now, where is the rights? Will it feed the whole nation forever? No, it won't.
All right, thank you.
And after the protest, we saw that, okay, they purchased the plane, the pirate aircraft for the president. That's how it's supposed to be. So everything politics is against the people. Anything that tends to feed the people or be for the people, the politicians tend to.
All right, thank you so much. I appreciate you. All right, so for those who's just joining us, let's quickly run down the hot topics that we've had this evening for you. First, we started by telling you that Chinese investors, the Zhongshan Fucheng Industrial Company Limited, have seized at the taking over Nigeria's guest houses in Liverpool, 2 guest houses in Liverpool, which, by the way, was not even listed or registered as a Nigerian, to the Nigerian, what do they call it now? To the Nigerian embassy or Nigerian mission, Nigerian diplomatic mission in the UK. Well, they have seized the properties now, and they said they're putting it up for sale for $2.2 million. Chinese companies
so are selling Nigerian assets.
I believe some Nigerians will be willing to buy that asset, if not for government witch hunt, that they will later want to twist them and collect it back.
All right. So we also told you the Enugu State government compiled list of buildings used for kidnapping threatens demolish.
And then 2027, APC kicks as PDP backs call for Jonathan's return. APC say, I won't bring Jonathan. We not go green. Not bring Jonathan. We not go green. Okay.
I'm still talking about PDP. I don't run from fight. Wike vows to remain in PDP, even though he's an FCT minister in that means administration.
I fight to finish. How over 1,400 protesters are languishing in police custody.
And UNICEF warns of escalating malnutrition crisis in the northeastern part of Nigeria.
I'm even saying that escalating malnutrition in everywhere in Nigeria because everyone is malnourished.
Who is not malnourished? So me, I'm not malnourished like this. I don't need meat.
Already said it.
I don't need meat. I don't mind Mr. Chukwudi.
All right, speaking about malnourishment, new market survey shows that some food items, the prices of some food items have really come down as bags of beans, rice, crayfish, gari, in ETC in Abia and Imo State are significantly down.
We told them about the Chinese investors trying to take over.
Yes, we said that. And I've spoken about the Enugu. So phone lines are still open, Lagos 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call. You can call the WhatsApp line 0817 175 6338. Mr. Ola from Chicago, good evening. Thank you so much for staying there. Apologies for keeping you waiting.
Yeah. No problem. I got nothing to say. Precious.
Sir?
I get out. Promise.
Sir?
I got you.
Welcome,
I greet my darling T on absent.
Thank you, sir.
I greet my brother, dear Dr. Deji, a Yoruba man who did not support nonsense.
Thank you. Sir.
I'm just calling you guys to greet you. I did laugh. Every day new record, new release. God bless you.
So it's like an album
bye
right
bye.
now. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. So that means he's saying his back-to-back hits. Thank you very much, Mr. Ola. Ouch, this one enter. Like it's a back-to-back release, back-to-back hits. Oh, all right, phone lines are still open.
Can we take some?
Yes,
WhatsApp
just take a few so that
let's
we
start
can
from
go to
this. Good
YouTube
evening,
too.
Precious, and the guests in the house. Please help me beg the Chinese to sell off the Nigerian guest house in Liverpool. They should also go to France and seize the presidential jet, wherever it is. Dre from Egbeda, you should be coming down now. What is
vexing?
It? Okay, and this says, Precious, invite those guys to come and talk about in here also. Leave Nigerian matter and have peace. Promise. No, you're crushing on me. You don't crush me like that. You're going to injure me. Oh, so okay. People have been telling you.
Promise you are capable.
Of
Leave
what?
That. You are capable. You are big engine.
I'm not. I'm malnourished.
All right, so a few messages on YouTube. Let's see very quickly. A few messages on YouTube. Wuzman Kido says, "Good evening, Precious. Which way Nigeria? We don't talk tire. Still no headway." Polished Thing says, "Emir of Goza was also killed by what now? Was also killed by Boko Haram in 2014." Okay. Are you always trying to support the fact that things happen in this administration, or because it happened before it's okay to happen in this administration? It baffles me. Whether it happened in my father's era as a kid, president of Nigeria,
it is still bad. Line people talk about
it is bad. Please, can we just stop this crazy?
It doesn't seem like people are going to get over this anytime soon.
Whether it happened when my father was the president or when your father was president, the bottom line is that it is happening, and it is wrong at each time it happened, or every time it happens. It is wrong,
and it's still looking like in 2027 we'll see a replica of 2023.
Okay, I get you. You say it's pounds, and then CY OK says, Precious, good evening. Yes, the properties in Liverpool would soon be on eBay, and possibly we in the UK may become Chinese by court attachment. To please sort this out amicably. Jessica Sumano says, Jessica from Ghana says, Precious, I don't understand. We go to bed empty hunger. Well, APC is doing hard work to remain in power. The Lord's table. Do ECOWAS foods workers greeting you? Okay. Ivan says, the only president in Nigeria without a primary and secondary school certificate. Very sad. And Bank of America says, praise God Almighty. Honestly, I love Tinubu's government. You know why? He brought hunger. He brought Mr. Hunger in Nigeria to unite all Nigerians, because Mr. Hunger no get enemy. Oops, that's bad. That's bad. All right, you want to take more messages before we go back to the calls?
Let's take one more. HRBC Moko said, good evening, Precious and Promise. It's so sad that our security agencies, especially the Army and DSS, are so, you say they're not capable of knowing the whereabouts of bandits and terrorists tormenting and killing people in the north, but can go extra miles when it comes to the case of the southeast or innocent Nigerians protesting over hunger. Very sad that the emir will be killed in a very shameful way without any effort to rescue him. This is a shameful and complete fail.
Hello, good evening to you.
Yeah, good evening, Precious.
Good evening, sir. Sir, I'm fine, thank you. We're doing great. How about you?
I promise. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, sir. You're welcome, sir.
Yeah, the other you're speaking from.
You're welcome, sir.
Dr. Deji, I want to support you with the name you give the democracy. This one you go and Google it and know the man name. Democracy of new order, new world order. That is what we are in Nigeria now. Jonathan is somebody I respect much. I still love him till tomorrow. But from my own advice to him, the kind of person he is not the kind of person to dance in the market with this kind of APC government in this regime. Anything APC cannot do does not exist. They still have more 8 years ahead. Nobody can take it from them. If everybody is hoping for the election, it can never happen. Then we keep that 8 years. It's 16 years agreement. So nobody, Jonathan should respect himself and go home. God bless you all. Keep it on.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Okay. All right. And this is, Marashi says this is probably the best time to to Nigeria so that everybody will go their separate, their ways, and then maybe we'll know the right person to pay the Chinese government back. Marashi Uche, now for you. Get chill. Chilled Power says kleptocracy, and with a laughing emoji. And Keneziki says, please, next week, bring mats for Dr. DG. to sit down on, because he has the tendency of breaking tables and scattering. So when you sit down for math, you no go break ground,
That's right.
because you be like saying a scattering of table nowadays, so like this. And Oloko Fatai says they want to recover before disintegration. And Hope Alive Evangelist says Steftocracy up with some emoji there. Movie recap says Dr. Deji, God bless you.
Amen.
And
Thank you.
Harry
Go
from
ahead.
Ogada says, good evening, precious. Nigeria should give INEC no rest until you want Mahmoud to be removed. Would that be possible? Good evening, Madam Precious. I would have called you earlier before now. Private phone. Oh, okay. Your children.
Okay,
All
okay, like then read that message, because some people reached out to him. Please kindly read
We
it.
said I would have called you earlier before now if I had your private number to appreciate you for your kind heart for providing food and sanity to my family. My 5 children have enough food stuff in the house. May God Almighty, keeps
Richly
blessing
bless
you,
you.
and that's
Okay,
it.
so, that was-
from Ejigbo.
Yes, so that was the guy who did request for a little token to eat with his family, and he says he's a clearing and forwarding agent. A lot of people reached out to him. One of them is Prince Akwachi from New York, I guess. He reached out to him and gave him 50,000 naira, and quite a couple of others reached out to him, I guess so, after I gave out his number. I think that's why he's appreciating.
And
Thank you.
Kenechukwu from Festac says, does it mean that we don't have credible people in Nigeria again that can take us to the promised land? Why mentioning Jonathan again to come back and rule us? Anyways, in the absence of crocodile, we can manage lizard. Okay.
Hello, good evening to you. Hello. Good evening. Are you
Hello,
there? Yes,
Precious.
please.
Good
Sir,
evening.
welcome.
Thank you. Promise, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you, sir. You're welcome.
What's your name,
Good
sir?
evening, Professor Deji.
Oh, you don't.
Dr.
Ogami.
Deji.
Dr.
Yes.
Deji.
Ogami, you don't elevate me.
Dr. Deji.
No, he's a professor.
Thank you. Go ahead, sir. What's your name?
This is Daniel. I'm calling from Idimo.
Daniel, you're welcome. Go ahead.
They said that price of things have come down in our market.
Please
Is it
tell
in
us.
Lagos or that, or
So they said Imo State, Abia State, some said Enugu State too, but we would like to know what the prices of things are in your markets, where you are.
In Lagos. We're in Lagos.
Okay. Now in Lagos, I remember last month. Last weekend, my wife went to the market and she said she bought this makeup of Obono for 1,500 last month.
For a cup.
But last weekend, yes, yes, Obono, that makeup.
Yes,
She
1,500.
bought it for 1,500 last month, but last weekend she bought it for 2,000 naira.
Wow.
Hey, wait.
Then this head of Ogo that they sell for 1,000, they said last month she bought it for last weekend she bought it for 3,500.
No. How much did she buy it last month? Please remind us again. I think the line went off while you were saying that.
Last month she bought it for 1,000. That big head that they usually buy. She bought it for 1,800 last month, but last weekend she bought it for 3,500.
One head of Ugu.
I'm the one that usually buys some of the, like all this Indomie and all that. Last month I spaghetti, because I usually buy the carton.
Okay.
But last week I bought it for 20,000.
How much did you buy pasta last month? I didn't get that price.
10,000.
10,000?
This month, last weekend, 16.
Oh, 16,000. Yeah,
16,000.
I can relate because I also bought 16,000 last month.
Okay, but last weekend I bought it for 20,000.
Wow.
Yes, 20. That's what I bought it. If somebody else also bought the same price, because I was complaining, the man told me that he also bought the same price, 20,000 naira. So I don't know where the things are. Rice, I bought rice last week. It is 80,000 naira a bag. So I don't know where it's coming down. I just wanted to know whether it's in Lagos or outside Lagos. Thank you very much for your good work.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. Hello, good evening to you. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Are you there?
I can hear you. Good evening.
Hi, good evening. Welcome. Go ahead. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Go straight to the point.
This is Izuchuku. I'm calling from Boston.
Go ahead.
A first time caller.
Hell, give him bell now. Thank you. You're welcome. Go ahead, please.
Thank you. You are from.
Thank you.
I salute Baba Deji for your comment this night. I was very happy.
Thank you, sir.
Can hear you.
Yes, sir. Please, this Nigeria, we don't tire. We don't tire.
Wetin happen?
I say in private community, we don't tire. Things are very hard, though.
Sorry. Sir?
Land is very rich by emotion. We don't tire for this country. We don't know what is going on again. And our president is buying private jet of 150 billion. Please, they made a help us now.
Thank you.
Secondly, this is what they are talking about Goodluck Jonathan. Very good. He should go arrest you. Yeah, they not support him to come because all those outside people, they are very trickish. They did before. So please, I'm begging you should go and respect yourself and begin to eat all the fruit of, let me say, blessing that they have before, and all the things that they should go and be telling that one before.
All right, thank
now,
you.
Okay. So please, let our president do something. People are suffering. People are dying. The latest news is man is spend and fair. Fair and spending and die, spending and die. That's how people are just dying every day. And it's because of that government and the hardship in the country. It's very, very bad now. They should do something. People are suffering. Thank you, ma.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. All right, so let's go back to those messages. You wanted to
talking about Jonathan, Ethanol from Otta says the sudden love for the North for Jonathan is not genuine. They are interested in anyone from the South who can wrestle power from Tinubu to complete the 8 years of Southern Nigeria's presidency so that the North can take over from Jonathan in 2031.
All right, so Amarachi Uchi says, which Enugu state? This Enugu state I am staying. Please, these people should stop this propaganda. Promise. Do you know that we buy fuel in Enugu state at 1K here per liter? Trust Nigeria, the transportation has gone up suddenly too.
And still talking about Jonathan, this is Precious. Chris from Ijegun. The North are calling for Jonathan not because he is competent, but because they want someone who have only 4 years to stay in power. Same thing, you say, same thoughts and reaction.
Yes, Igbo man says Nigeria will never. Less Stove says, good evening. Oh, I love this Precious. So please make one dash me Precious. You say, and the movie recap says Dr. DG. God bless you. God bless you.
You from Lagos, you're talking about Jonathan's presidency and telling him not to, recontest. This says, good evening, Precious and Promise and Dr. DG. My name is Ernest from Ojo, Lagos. I believe that if we have a new law-abiding, non-corrupted person as our president, someone who is ready to bring back Nigeria to its glory, all this mismanagement of our resources will stop. The problem is our politicians are not the citizens, and not the citizens for now. But if things continue this way, there will come a time things will fall apart and the center will no longer hold the country.
And then this here says, you people are doing a good job. Oh, I am Babeji from Motion. Please me ask Oga Jonathan what he forgot in Aso Rock that he wants to go back and take. That he wants to go back and take. Let them reform our electoral system and change Yakubu Mahmood as INEC chairman for Nigerians. The price of things are coming down only in all the APC's warehouses and shops. If you care for the addresses, call by your nanuga. Why are you guys like this? Savage.
Precious. Mr. Benjamin from Papa, you done?
Don't you just go ahead, please?
Mr. Benjamin from Papa said, go and check all the Northerners calling for Jonathan to contest again. Tinubu come 2027. Our PDP members, contest against Tinubu, or probably the ones that lost election under APC. However, if Jonathan tries it, he will receive. You think he's going to lose and receive the worst shame of his life? Okay.
All right. This is Sir and Ma'am. The man that just called now saying APC and PDP have had an agreement for 16 years that Jonathan should respect himself not to contest. Tell him to stop saying that. If he says that outside, Walai, we have his size. Wali promotion.
John says if Jonathan contests in 2027, that would be the end of Tinubu, even though it would be difficult for Jonathan to repair the damage the APC has done. Okay. And this says, good evening, Precious. I'm seriously enjoying the political analysis of the scholar. This is wisdom plus knowledge.
Elder
Digi. He said you have wisdom, knowledge, everything.
And understand yourself. Join them. Elder Itao Kon from Ibejuleki says, I don't want Jonathan to accept the idea of coming again as a Nigerian president. He will win if he comes. But people in this present day government rejected and humiliated him. But God decided to honor him. Now they are pretending to love him just to bring him down. It will not work for them. They should carry their own cross alone and allow Babaju to go and rest. Please enjoy his God's given honor. And that's my humble suggestion to him. That's what you said. And then this year says Precious. You say as of today, Ogbonona 3K.
And Victor from Kenya says, good evening, Precious, Promise, and Dr. Deji. Precious and Promise, my head won't blow with the grammar that Dr. Deji is speaking. God bless his heart for us.
And John from Ikpa just says, Precious and Promise, wonderful evening to you guests and your guests. I give him a huge hug for his honest and transparency in words. And he said he don't take him like, you take him, he hold on tight. You don't want let her lost. He said it all. Dr. Good Luck Ebele Jonathan will beat this so-called users at the administration. Okay, will beat these people hands down if he wishes to contest to me. He's in number 3 GCFR I know who has ruled this country. Buhari and the other one. Okay, thank you.
All right, Ayon Lawal from Jingo says, hello VOP, please, how can I follow Dr. Deji on his social media handle?
Dr.
And
Deji.
This man is too much. I'm undergraduate student of social science. I would like to emulate him as my role model.
Which course?
He didn't say that. So Dr. Deji, tell us your YouTube handles and channels and all the social media.
Just go to YouTube. You type Polythink with Omoshola Deji. That's my channel.
Polythink with Omoshola Deji.
That spells as POLITHINK. And I try to upload videos regularly whereby I share my thoughts on politics and happenings in the polity. So go to YouTube, Polythink with Omoshola Deji. You see my YouTube channel. Please subscribe, show some love. I love you.
All right.
Let's make it happen.
And they can drop you messages, then you can respond to them personally.
In fact, if you know that you won't come to my YouTube to just watch video without asking questions, don't come. I love to answer your questions.
You like to
so
break
far
it
it
down.
is about political analysis. Ask me that question. I want to.
Your body.
Then that student that is in
social science,
please, if you subscribe to that YouTube, try and specify that I'm the student that commented that I'm from that I'm studying social science course in a university. I would respond to you, and I'd love to be your mentor as well.
Oh, thank you. Precious. And when will the prices of food really come down? Can't you see this government is dealing with us people? This hunger issue has hit its highest height. Let the Chinese people take over everything. This government.
Sorry, I will do promo. I will do one promo, but not now.
What's the promo?
Later. That I'm opportune to study in 3 different continents for my BSc, Masters, and PhD. So
you studied your first degree was in Nigeria.
My first degree was in Nigeria,
and then your master's.
My master's degree was in the UK, while my PhD was done in Asia. So I have that.
You're a citizen of the world.
Yeah, I have that vast academic culture. So at some point in time, I hope that I have some listeners who are parents that want their kids to have that vast academic exposure. Maybe they have the money and they just need that guidance, because I lacked it during my time. Everything that I know, it was through hard work and so much rigor, and I make mistakes too. So I'd like to kind of like ask a guide to maybe 1, 2, 3 students in connivance with their parents if they want to stand their words to kind of like study about maybe in all this, because something, you need reference, you need so many kind of things, personal statement, and all those things,
So you do it for free.
You're
doing it for free.
Of course, I'll do it for free, but not now. So that's why you should always
So it's better they subscribe to your channel and follow.
Let them subscribe to your channel so that they can enjoy that privilege.
Think with Omoshola Deji.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Deji. Ugochukwu, he said this Dr. Deji learn work finish. He's top notch. That is, he not stop the work. He learn and finish. Thank you, Ugochukwu. Go ahead.
Tega from Maryland says, good evening, everyone in the studio. Nigeria Matter is like season movie. Every time we'll see new episode. Good work to Dr. Deji. He's giving you thumbs up. And
then Austino from Olodia Papa says, Dr. Deji, do you think that there is no cost for presidency constantly lying to Nigerians?
He
did not say president. He said, Dr. Deji, do you think that there is no cost for presidency constantly lying to Nigerians?
Yeah, I will answer that.
Okay, go ahead, please.
All right, Hilary says, you want to answer that?
I'd like you to respond, please.
Well, the thing is, there naturally ought to be a cost for that.
First of all, do you agree that presidency constantly lies to Nigerians? That's what he said. It may be his assertion.
Well, I would like to go empirical. I wouldn't like to say yes or no. But the thing is, government says they've removed subsidy. They are no longer paying subsidy. But for my analogy, subsidy is being paid. Is that a lie? I leave you to answer that. Now, some of the statement that comes from the people in the presidency, do you find lies in them? I leave you to answer that. But the truth is, in a democracy, the reason why they say democracy is the best form of government is because they believe that there should be fear of the people. That when power comes from the people, when it is the people that will determine when you govern, when it is the people that have the power of hire and fire, you will naturally have that fear of the people. But when you say you are practicing a democracy and there is no fear of the people, then what you have is a flawed democracy. It's an error democracy. Because naturally, people says, do not, in a democracy, citizens should have that cease and desist order. What do I mean by that? Cease and desist order means stop. That is cease. Desist, don't do it again.
No try am again.
So in a democracy, citizens must have that cease and desist order. Immediately they don't have that cease and desist order, it is a full democracy. And I give you an example. Nigerians were clamoring, saying cease from buying presidential jet. You are telling us that we should bear the pain. Cease from buying that presidential jet. Before we know it, it is the news of that impounding of that jet in France by Zongchan that made us to know that Nigeria has even bought the jet. So you now question yourself that if the...
And we still don't know where the money comes from.
Yes, if that cease and desist order, and God bless you, promise, it begs the question that, are you using the money that you say you are borrowing? Because as a government, we were clamoring that Buhari was borrowing. But this government, what Buhari borrowed in 8 years, in just a little over a year, this government has borrowed a significant part of that sum in just 1 year. And you ask yourself, is it that you borrowed this money to go and buy presidential fleet and you are asking us to endure the pain? Is it that you borrowed this money to give to Chagri for the controversial Lagos to Calabar way, that there are now media reports that the son of that man and the son of the president, Sheyi, that they own a company offshore, and that contract was awarded to them? You will see that contract, there was no bidding. There was no much bidding. It was just awarded. So the thing is, in a democracy...
There was not much, there was no open bidding at all.
There was no open bidding. Now, in a democracy, if citizens do not have that, they don't have the power to give a cease and desist order, by implication of that consequence will await you during an election. What is?
Who shows that power belongs to the people?
It shows that one, what you are practicing is the flawed
Doctor, did you have someone on hold though? Just let me wrap up. It's okay. Just no, it's okay.
No, let me give time to my people. They are my people.
Okay, we'll come back to that. Hello, good evening, Joe Val. I know it's you.
I was enjoying.
You were enjoying it. I was helping not to waste your time. Sorry.
No, Joe Val, go and subscribe.
Doctor, how have you subscribed? Joe Val, have you subscribed?
Let me go to Polythink with Omosholadeji.
I am polythinking already. From the beginning, I started polythinking. How can somebody have this powerful aura of knowledge, and we can not be polythinking with the person? I am number one polythinking member that you have in that YouTube channel.
Jova, you have your ways with words.
Our precious
sir.
I greet you.
I greet you too.
And I greet Promise, the PQ. That's the name, yes.
PQ.
Maybe I should change my name to Peter. It should be triple P. Because if there's Precious, if there's Promise, there should be a Peter. Maybe I should change my name to Peter or Prince Will, so it should be triple P.
Go ahead,
whenever you are in the studio, Dr. Deji, I am jotting things down. Always writing things. This is the classroom of politics. And I want our politicians to come and learn. See, Dr. Deji, is it difficult for somebody when you know that you don't have much to offer? Why would you come and contest? Why would you come and become something? I was just thinking throughout today that if our president, with all due respect to him, never came out to contest this election, probably would have had in our ballots Yemi Osibanjo and Peter Obi, possibly Atiku. And I know that between Peter Obi and Atiku, it would have been between Peter Obi and Yemi Osibanjo. Wherever the pendulum swung or swings to, Nigerians would have been better off than we are today. And Baba would have still been in Bodilo in his house, being his kingmaker, enjoying himself, instead of coming to be a president, and this is where we are today. everything you are saying this evening is on point. But I want to say one thing. President Goodluck Jonathan, please don't come out. Nigerians who never understood what is good for them rejected you. And whatever anybody says, if this country want to, if those who are running this country will not get it better, stay away from it. Stay away from it. Let us forge ahead with somebody else. Because if you come at all to run this country, you will just destroy
Thank you so much, Joval. Joval, so quickly, I'd like to ask you. I'd like to ask you, where is Remy from Akoka? You'd be like, so you get where they meet for backyard.
Precious, thank you. You know that somebody asked about Remy.
Yes, someone else has sent me a message too, asking about him.
Remy from Akoka. I hope that these people did not go and look for him and close his mouth. Remy, wherever you are, I will look for him in all the platforms where
please kindly look for his contacts and reach him, please.
We need you to come and talk to us. I will look for him.
Please do so. I just hope he's fine.
God bless you for reminding me this again.
I hope he's fine.
I hope so. And you know that somebody called on Saturday.
In fact, someone just dropped a message now. NG Rose says, Dr. Deji and our epitome of journalism par excellence, on a well done there. He says something like, for the good work we're doing, he says, I am missing Remy from Akoka. The person just dropped that message. And I saw it and I thought to ask you, because two of you had gossiped to me in the past. So I thought to ask you.
Thank you. I'm remembering. Thank you for reminding me. Dr. DG, please, I am learning from you. Continue to give us, this is klepto calling that I'm doing now.
Come on, be going. Bye. All right, so this text message here says, good evening, Madam Precious. Please, I need help. Okay, all right, I appreciate you. Go ahead.
Let's go to WhatsApp now. Hillary says, good evening, Precious and Promise. Since China has decided to take over Nigerian properties, I hereby change my name from Hillary to Hin Chong Chun. That sounds bad. This is I'll try to read your message as much as I can. Today, don't worry, I don't hate reading your message. It's just that we don't have a lot of time sometimes, and you guys' messages are quite lengthy. This says Adewale from Oshodi, APC administration is okay. He said a lot of things, and we're having security agencies give local government all right,
Dr. Dejiro, get you. The flag the Northerners were flying is actually the military flag that Precious's dad, presidents, used to display behind him every time. But the Obioma Taylor say they gave it to, made a mistake and didn't sew and get the colors right. The people flying it don't know jack about at the same time. It's a non-issue, I beg. Is it this problem?
From Magege says, greetings to everyone in the studio. Any person that says, any person other than Peter Obi or Showore can't salvage the already battered image of the country. Let Nigerians be quick to reason that anyone selected by the present administrations, present politicians rather, will only go in there and get manipulated as usual. That's it.
All right. And this says, when Buhari and his gang were busy collecting Chinese loans, them no say China, they eye Nigerian properties abroad. They should tell us they have bought Nigeria already. Excuse me. And then Ifeanyi from Okoko Michael says, good evening, Madam Precious. Anybody telling you that things are coming down is not being truthful. Things are very costly. That's what Ifeanyi said.
So Dave from Festac, you sent a message. You complained that I don't read your message, but you sent a message, and what you're writing is nothing, close to what we're doing here. You see, that's a problem. Okay. This says, good evening, VOP. I am Ibrahim from Onikwan. Please, Dr. DG, if Mr. Goodluck Jonathan contests as president in 2027 election under PDP, where would they put Atiku? Because Atiku too wants to contest for presidency.
Okay. And then Afro Media from Lagos says, I beg to differ with your guest that he said that not all the country's property abroad should be listed. I feel it should be listed, but for security reasons, they shouldn't disclose which of the houses they are in during the visits abroad. Now, so the Chinese company should keep seizing and selling till they recoup all their money. As for Jonathan returning back, he will only be used as a stooge by the Northerners or Northern elders. As for food prices falling, he yawned and said, that's one, Nalamba. There is serious scarcity, hence the hike in price. Any good state government should either sell those houses marked for demolition or put it on sale to make more money instead of destroying it, making it more desolate for more crimes. Ona, they do well. Well done to every one of you in the studio. Mrs. Anthony Ugoji sent in that message. Mrs. Anthony, thank you so much.
And Harrison says, what a deceit. You think they are deceiving Jonathan to come for 2027? And you're saying anybody aside Peter Obi's, okay, they are deceiving him and reducing Peter Obi's rising profile. Jonathan, do not falter for their plots because they love you not.
Okay. And Kingsley Akinero from Yaba says, PMP and Dr. DJ in the house. For now, Jonathan should be very careful and maintain the good name he had made for himself. The Northerners are trying to trap him to achieve their birthright kingship.
And this person says, good evening, PMP and Dr. DJ. I collect goods from my company and also frequent my 12. The only thing that drops is tomatoes. This is Chris from you didn't say where you're calling from.
Okay, and then good evening, Precious. Please, when are the Chinese coming to take over? Oh, please stop. I will advise we Nigerians to encourage the Nigerian bus drivers and motorcycle drivers to go on strike because fuel increment is not affecting all the so-called agberus. Please, they should stop this and do something about this Sarah money. With the Sarah money where they chop. Daddy Ivan from Satellite Town sent in that message.
Global from Akota Ago Palace Way rather says, hello, Precious and Promise. Please, people should stop saying Mahmoud Yakubu should resign. Mahmoud Yakubu is just a tool. If removed, Tinubu will still appoint another tool he can misuse.
All right. Wachiku from Ajawa State Wachiku says it will be very shameful if Uncle Jonah comes back again or make it just maintain his tease, Abi.
Ugo from Alimosho says our leaders are fiendishly castrocratic. No be only Dr. Deji sabi blow drama. You people will make me bite my tongue in this place. Dr. Deji, they are imitating you now. And this says, elite from Airport Road, good evening. The complicated political dynamics at play. It's important for Nigerians to be aware of this conspiracy by the northern elite. For Jonathan to come back in 2027, this is a big, you think is a big plot. And it's a plot to bring the North to power in 2031. Jonathan shouldn't allow himself to be used. Peter Obi is still the best option, and that is why they are scared of him. The Chinese should go ahead and sell anything sellable. Nigerian government as a whole need to be thought. Oh, come on.
All right. Hello. Good evening to you.
Good evening.
Good evening. Welcome. Thank you. What's your name, sir?
Yeah. My name is Damilola, calling from Shomolu.
You're welcome, Damilola. Go ahead.
Promise. And good evening,
Damilola. You're welcome.
All right. Right, so just to manage my time, I'm going to brush quickly through my points. Okay. So first is on the demolition or threatened demolition of houses used by kidnappers and the likes in Ogun State. So for Nigerian government that we are
not Ogun State, Enugu State.
Enugu, yes, I said Enugu.
Okay.
In Enugu State. Okay. Yes. So we've had cases where, let's say, flooding, for instance, or the government just wants to use the landed property belonging to civilians. It wouldn't take them a second before they demolish without even compensating sometimes these people. But in this case, should it even be announced, talk alone, telling us that, it's a threat to those people that they want to demolish. It's something they should have even done before even announcing it. We should hear things like, we've demolished the building that are used for these vices. So that's why I feel so quickly, like I said. So my second point is on the Russian flag that were flied by those Northerners. So I listened to a radio program today, and there was another perspective. So if you look at the Russian flag vertically, so it's colors as white, blue, and red, right? And the Nigerian Army flag, I had to Google and do my research as well before calling. So when I saw the Nigerian Army flag, it reads also vertically, red, dark blue, the same color as Russian flag. But then the last one is not white; it's turquoise, because the opinion said that those people might have just waved those flag to protest that they want a military government to take over, and they didn't know it was the Russian flag. So I just felt maybe we'll get an opinion about that. So finalizing on my point, as for Jonathan, there's a Yoruba proverb that says that interpretation says a good name is better than gold and silver. So I would just, in my opinion, advise that Jonathan should just lay put. He just lay put. So finally, so on the Chinese seized properties of Nigerian or Nigerian properties that were seized by the Chinese. So I keep saying something whenever I call on this radio program. Is there any iota of truth that would ever come out from this administration? Like, could they just at least mention a letter of the alphabet, and you actually go and check that letter and say, oh, it's true, it's ABC in fact. So it's not going where it's not going to end if they continue like this, and it should just keep bringing distrust to the people, even when they intentionally want to do something genuine. Even if that thing comes out genuine, it gives us doubts to disbelieve it if they keep going this way. So thank you very much. So these are just the 3 points, and you all look beautiful in the studio today.
Thank you. Thank you so
very
much. You two look good. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm sure you do, because I can't see you. I just don't imagine that. We have some messages. Do we have more messages?
Yeah, Ima from Festac says, good evening, guys. The bringing back of former President Jonathan is just a plot to continue what this crop of politicians started. They want someone who can play ball so they can continue looting not only by the PDP, but I can promise they will do worse than today's APC, just so as to hold on to power. They don't want someone like Peter Obi, who is the real reason for the wave of change by the people. And this says, my name is Michael from Ajoy State. I'm really enjoying this show. Thank you for joining. And this says, the doctor asks of the man that says we are Jewish and no one came for me. One leader, please tell Ogaju not to near there. The system is already messed up. This says, good evening, crew. A day from Lagos. You can't govern by lies, eye service, propaganda, and hypocrisy and expect it to prosper. It won't. It's glaring like daylight that the foundation, okay, you said a lot. When you have low grace mind, visionless, and lack of capacity, tax masters, you said a lot. You said the worst of us are ruling the best of us, and truly there was a country.
All right. So, Dr. DJ, okay.
I want to take one more.
Yeah,
from Spain says, good evening, Precious, Promise, and the guest. Thank you for the good work you're doing. Ex-President Goodluck Jonathan should disregard the call from PDP. For now, I trust Mama Patience anyway. I wanted to express my concern regarding the current situation we are facing today in Nigeria. The ongoing issues stem from the incompetence of our political leaders. I believe it is essential for the government to conduct thorough investigation beyond our state. This administration is likely to exacerbate our challenges with China due to a noticeable lack of willpower in pursuing the matter effectively. Let them look for competent people and not look for likes of Bayo or Nanuga. Thank you for your attention to this pressing issue. Best regards. It's a letter. Yolene from Spain. All right.
All right. So, Dr. DJ, I would like you to have your concluding thought very quickly.
Okay, quickly. If you have been having a business talks with a company in China, and the business talks have been going fine, but for no just reason, the company just disengage themselves from having further conversation with you, know that you are suffering some of the implications of this Ogun State Zhongshan issue, because there are individual implications for people that are trying to do business in China. Then for the one of Dr. Goodluck Jonathan, one, I think if there is pressure on him, he may not be able to resist pressure, because it is very sweet to be the president of Nigeria. You know, you have enormous powers. And I think he's a really good candidate that can give Tinubu a good run for his money in 2027. But if I were to be former President Goodluck Jonathan, for the sake of integrity, dignity, and posterity, I will not agree to contest. You know why? You cannot collect dollar from me at 100 and something naira, then you are giving me back at 1,600. You cannot collect maybe the rika of rice from me at 200 naira, and you are giving me back at 1,500.
I remember a bag of rice was 8,000.
Yes, I will not accept it from you. And what will Jonathan be trying to achieve? There's no way you will write the record of Nigeria and you won't put Jonathan, former President, Federal Republic of Nigeria. I think if you have the grace to lead this country at any point in time, it takes the grace of God. I think that is satisfactory enough. But then, you know, people may may put pressure on him and he may eventually succumb to the
All right, thank you so much. So let me quickly just run through a few messages on YouTube. Arinza Armstrong sends greetings to you all, VOP TV. And Wasiu Shuaten says, Polythink with Omoshola DG. You're correct. Lota Isiano says, APC have... Christo Konko says, I hope Tinubu stop these things. I think maybe the Chinese things. One mommy says, Nigeria is already... your messages on YouTube is not friendly at all. Well, Dr. Deji also shared an extensive, conversation with me, or had an extensive conversation with me on Precious Enyi TV about this. In fact, we just focused on this issue of the Chinese company and the diplomacy around it and all of that. You should go watch that. It will be uploaded tomorrow by 4 p.m. Nigerian time. Tomorrow by 4 p.m. Nigerian time.
So go and follow Precious like our village people.
So you should go and watch it. It will be uploaded tomorrow by 4 p.m. Nigerian time tomorrow. So that's it. But Dr. Deji, very quickly, you want to ask him for his...
No.
Okay.
I wanted them to tell them to also remember to follow Dr. Deji.
I was about to say that.
Go and subscribe to that channel.
Yeah.
If you love me, I love you too. I love you. Polythink with Omoshola Deji. That's spelled as POLITHINK with Omoshola Deji. Polythink with Omoshola Deji. Subscribe, turn on your notification button.
My name is...
I love you all.
My name is Promise Lagos. I am Promise Enyi Official on Instagram and on other social media platforms. I am just Promise Enyi. And whatever you do with the whole stories, we're bringing you every day. Always try to protect your mental health.
All right, my name is Precious Enyi, and you can catch me across our social media platforms, but where I am most active is YouTube, and it's at Precious Enyi TV on YouTube. Precious Enyi TV on YouTube. I love you guys. Please, now, protect your mental health, and good night.